Hello everybody. With this short video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take an existing Rails app and put it on Heroku. So let's say you have a Rails app, and right now we have a very basic one, the basic blog that you've seen a million times before. We can see how that works, just running the basic post scaffold. And that's great, but let's say you want to run that on a Heroku shared server. We'll show you what you need to do to get that going. So we'll just stop our local server. Now all we're going to do is do a few simple steps to get it ready for Heroku and then deploy. So the first thing you need to do is open your gem file and add group production do gem pg end. And then after you've added what I've added there, run the command bundle install -- without production. And what that's going to do is make sure your gem file is updated, but it's going to have this extra note that it's only going to install this PG gem in the production environment, which becomes important when we run database migrations and use databases on Heroku. So the next thing we want to do is run this command rake assets precompile. And what that's going to do is basically precompile all your asset files such as style sheets, JavaScripts, images in a precompiled format that works on Heroku and that needs to be in place for your app to run successfully on Heroku. Now, I have personally, along with some other people, when running this command, sometimes got an error about a rake aborted with precompiling some SAS files. So if you run into that, go back to your gem file, change the line about SAS Rails, like you see here. I'll have that in more detail in my blog. And then run the bundle install without production command again. And then once again, run the rake assets precompile again. And then everything should be ready. So at this point, your app is ready to run on Heroku. So just in case you haven't done it already, make sure your app has a Git repository by running git init, git add, space period, git commit, and with your commit message. Great. Now our app is in a Git repository which is ready to push to Heroku. So we'll create our Heroku app space by running the command Heroku create. And it'll create a new blank Heroku app for us and automatically add the remote. So now to actually deploy, run the command git push Heroku master. And this will take a little bit of time, but it's just going to take our code from our local Git repository and deploy it to Heroku. And so far, it looks like it's going well. We'll just wait a little bit longer to see how it goes. And now you can see that it's running, it's installing all of the dependencies using bundler that it needs, including our PG gem that we added with a note to only run in production. Now the bundle file is complete. That all went well. And and the deploy is just about finished. It looks like it was successful. The last thing we need to do is run this command, Heroku rake db migrate. And what this is going to do is it's going to take our database migrations that have likely already been run locally in development mode and run them in production mode on Heroku. And that should just take a second. Great, now everything should be up and running on Heroku, so if you want to look at it, run Heroku open. And this will take us to our root, but if we go to posts, which is where our controller is, we see our scaffold running just like it was in development environment. So now that you've seen how this works, hopefully you can take your apps and get them on Heroku and share them with the world. Thanks a lot.